Hello, I want you to meet Buddy. Buddy is one of Lily's kitties. Are very annoying sometimes, aren't you, Buddy? Anywho, I went to town. I had planned to go to town to get food, and so we did. A lot of times on Friday at the food pantry in Independence, they don't have anything. But looked out, there was a box full of green peppers and a box with a layer of oh shoot, I had the name in my mouth. Bartlett pears. I got 9 of them. Of course, Teresa was with me. She had been pounding on my front door. I said that I would try to pick her up between 8 and 8:30. And I had put my new breathing apparatus in my pocket because this is the first MD who thought maybe there might be some terrible damage that the having burnt lungs did to my lungs. And usually Dewey Hauser, who I had, his name was not really Dewey Hauser, but he was like 12. Dr. Fahey, and his family is from my area of Iowa in the eastern part of the state. And I'm a name person. I like names that I recognize. That's why I rename cats. And, when I have dogs and cows and horses and chickens, names of people I loved. I never had a buddy before. Mom, when she was younger, her brother had a pal. And when I walked back from Denver, Colorado at 26, I had a Beauregard. Mother didn't like the name. She picked me up at Coralville. I had 3 rides that took me across Colorado and into Iowa. The last one was in a bread wagon. He lived in Chicago and he worked in Golden, Colorado at Coors, and he'd drive home every weekend. And all I had was a little tiny bottle of root beer schnapps that I had gotten in case it was cold at night. And it was cold, but my Australian sheepdog, Labrador mix was cold and scared, so he was resting. So I was plenty warm. Cost $8 to sleep on the ground at a KOA campground in 1985. I had just gotten out of the United States Marine Corps, and I thought maybe I should try being a nanny. I loved kids, and I would have loved to have a family, but pretty good that I didn't, I guess, because my 2 nephews in Iowa believed every lie that spewed out of the narcissistic sociopath that is my sister in Granbury, Texas. When you pretty much raise nephews just to have them not even bother to come see you, and they live in Alameda County and Waukon and Waterville, and they're like 76 miles away and couldn't be bothered. We were always dragged off to relatives we didn't know. Remember those days? They were the people in the faces in the old pictures that nobody took time to put the names on the back. I'm sure you have them too. After the fire, I was in the house getting out as much of our stuff as I could. Diana was looking for money. Pity she didn't move Mom and Dad's bed. I found at least 10 grand in a bicentennial and special quarters that Dad and Mom saved. I used them. I wish I had saved every one of them. But when it comes for a rent or food, I'm going to opt for those two things. The millionaire in office doesn't care that the 28 million that will be going without medical insurance. I'm sure the amount is bigger than that because now, this time in life, there are more older people in the United States than everywhere else in the world. We're driving along, we're coming back home. I had gotten my Bartlett pears and some I love everything bagels. These aren't the Thomasville, which I love, but I'm going to toast them in my toaster and eat them anyway. I'm going to eat them with the butter I have from the last time I got stuff from the lovely ladies in Arizona, Florida. And Teresa had gone back in and cleaned out that box of Bartlett pears. She got at least 30 seed packets yesterday. And today she got 4 or 5 more of onions. Walmart gave them to the food pantry, so they must hopefully be still good. I got tomatoes, and I got a few more tomatoes today. So I'm planting tomatoes and beans, and I have a squash coming up, a volunteer. I throw all my roughage into 2 old bookcases that I put on the ground, and I fill them with dirt and recycled corn or pine litter box. You can't put gravelly, toxic crap with smell in with plants. It kills the plants. And we're driving along. She says, "The reason I hate Muslims," and I'm thinking, this woman drives down the road, throws her arms up, puts everything in front of God, isn't a believer that you should actually take your own action to provide for yourself. Same woman beating the shit out of my trailer this morning. Same exact woman. She said, they only want to take over America. I said, you elected Trump. Yes, well, he said he was going to raise Social Security. He hasn't done anything. He's taken billions. He's given contracts that should have gone to worthy people, to his children. We know from Letterman that his son, youngest son, and a granddaughter were from his loins and his daughter's. Evidently, that's okay if you do it to your own. No, it's sarcasm. Anyway, I said, the people from Venezuela were all Catholics. Oh, I don't know anything about that. So, I'm going to go out. I put seeds that I had gotten at the food bank yesterday. I was hoping that, hi, Tom. I was hoping that, that's not a hat, that's a Thomas. And, that they would grow or that the raccoon would eat them. Raccoon doesn't like watermelon, onions, pineapple. That's a lovely tail I have on my head. Or the ever popular sunflower seeds. I ate tons of them when I was a kid. I would go with my mom driver to the clinic, and I would sit there, and there'd be all sorts of shells outside my window. I'd sneak them into the local theater. There was shells everywhere. I'd get false teeth, and I had one. It split this tooth. When you have medical crappy insurance, people decide if they want to serve you or not. And I haven't had that fixed. Or this one. This is from Wasabi Peas. But I'm looking for work. And I do good work. And just because I have gray hair, look at me as a person and an individual, and not because I don't have blue hair or orange hair. Animals love me. Too bad you can't put that on a resume. Blessings to you all. May the great Spirit shine His face upon you. Have a good day.